everyone. Welcome to today's exciting and transformative webinar. It's called the Top 5 Green Marketing Strategies for Businesses. And I'm thrilled to have you all here with me. And whether you're a business owner or a sustainability director or you're part of a dynamic marketing team, you're in the right place. So stick around for the most groundbreaking and effective green marketing strategies that are not only changing the game, but also driving real, measurable results. And I'm talking about strategies that will help you stand out, engage your stakeholders, and lead the charge in environmental responsibility. So if you're new to my content, hello, I'm Stacy Savage. I've been a recycling nerd for over 20 years, so they don't call me the Texas trash talker for nothing. I'm founder and CEO of Zero Waste Strategies. We're an environmental consulting firm based in the Austin area, and we provide consulting that helps businesses reduce waste, increase revenue, deepen customer loyalty, and to drive that green marketing edge is one of our specialties. So our client list includes some heavy hitters like Dell, AT&T, Apple, Nestle, Purina, Boston University, even the city of Austin. So we do help municipalities as well. And for this webcast, I invite you to drop your questions in the chat box so that we can tackle them in real time. So before we get started, let's take a moment to just recognize why we're here. The business landscape is evolving and consumers are more conscious than ever about the environmental impact of their own purchases. Now, companies can be authentic. They can communicate their sustainability efforts. But that may be one customer loyalty strategy or winning the affinity of customers, but it's also building a better, greener future for all of us. So during the session, we're going to actually dive into strategies like transparency and authenticity. So you're going to learn about how to openly share your company's environmental practices and achievements and assure that all your claims are genuine and can be verified. We're also going to go over green storytelling. So this is a way for you to discover the art of using compelling narratives to communicate your sustainability journey and the positive impact of your green initiatives. Another key topic is eco-innovation. So how do we explore developing new products and services and processes that significantly reduce environmental impact? Four, is employee engagement in your sustainability program. So we need to find out how to foster a corporate culture where employees are motivated, they feel empowered to contribute to the company's environmental goals, which is ultimately going to affect your bottom line. And then lastly, number 5 is going to be sustainable partnerships and collaboration. So how do we understand the importance of working with other organizations, suppliers, vendors, communities to advance mutual sustainability goals? So again, I've got my comments on, drop them in the chat. If you do have anything that does come up and we want to tackle those in real time right now. So I appreciate you guys joining on this journey towards sustainability and success. And get ready to take notes, ask those questions, leave inspired to implement these strategies in your own organization immediately. So these are immediate strategies that you can put into place. And then we're going to make a positive impact together to show the world what true green marketing looks like. And we're going to jump right in to discover the top 5 innovative green marketing strategies for U.S. businesses. So number 1, we talked about transparency and authenticity. So to define that, transparency and authenticity involve openly sharing a company's environmental practices, challenges, achievements with stakeholders, and ensuring that all those claims can actually be backed up by raw data and numbers, even testimonials as well. So here are some strategies that will help you with transparency and authenticity. So number 1, or I should say A, environmental reporting. So most companies are going to have annual CSRs, your corporate sustainability reporting. So regularly reporting published details on your sustainability reports that outline your green initiatives, your progress, your future goals, and any setbacks that you've experienced in your process. So this allows to show a little bit of vulnerability with whoever's reading the report, right? So let's say, for example, our company had a goal of 60% waste reduction and zero waste, but we only made 45%. We're going to do X, Y, and Z in order to get that 60% and beyond in the year 2025. So you can be a little vulnerable. Don't give away, the whole kit and caboodle, right? You do need to keep some things close to the vest, as they may be proprietary. But of course, you can always show that, hey, if you skip or if you missed a goal, don't try to hide that. Let people know that, hey, we're all just humans. We're trying to do our best here. And then you can use that as an opportunity to solidify and cement that effort that you're going to put into place, so that people can build even more trust and follow your journey with a closer lens as well. So they're going to be the ones on the other side championing you along. So that could be your stakeholders, your shareholders, your investors, your consumers, even, as well as your internal employees. So be open and vulnerable with those things. That even if you missed a goal, let people know that you do have a plan to get that goal into place and actually achieve it. B, third-party certification. So I love to talk about this because y'all have heard of LEED, Energy Star, Fair Trade. All of these are certifications that are a very rigorous process. You've got a lot of hoops to jump through. One that I've not mentioned so far is TRUE, and it stands for Total Resource Use and Efficiency. And TRUE is through the U.S. Green Building Council, just like LEED for energy and water. So TRUE is for zero waste facilities. And I am a certified TRUE zero waste advisor, so I can actually help your company get the certification. We've already done this for several other clients as well. So obtaining those certifications from reputable organizations, companies like mine that have been around for almost 12 years and have kind of, pioneered for quite a while, can come on site and help you with that certification process and help you validate those environmental claims. C is open communication. So engaging in honest dialogue with customers, employees, your shareholders, your investors about your sustainability journey, and include those setbacks for your areas of improvement. And then how do we implement these strategies? What are the tactics that you actually put it into place? I'm going to go over these for each of these talking points throughout this, so stick around. So real life tactics in your business to implement. One, website and social media updates. Of course, you want to share real-time updates on sustainability efforts through your blogging, your videos. Maybe you've got a video blog, and then your social media posts as well. Making sure that it's that your numbers are up to date on your website, and that people can discover this information freely. Or you can use your social media to point them to a particular link that you want them to go and explore, check out a little bit. So another one, two on this, is eco labels. So you can use certified eco labels on products to assure your customers of their environmental benefits. Eco labels, you want to be careful though. Eco labels can sometimes be seen as a white or like a greenwashing process. So it's important to make sure that the eco labels that you are using are widely accepted, and that they're not some kind of rogue labeling out there. They've got many years worth of credibility behind their name, and that's something that you'd want to put on your product labeling or packaging, not something that's kind of a fly-by-night program. It needs to be an established program with strong standards, and something that you'd be proud of course. And then the last thing here for this is interactive dashboards. So this is cool. So you can develop online dashboards that display real-time data of energy usage, your waste reduction, water usage, and other sustainability metrics. I actually partner with a company called VIA Analytics, VIA Analytics.com. And they have, a dashboard where you can enter all of your waste reduction data, and you can enter, LED lights and textiles and e-waste and food waste and your normal recyclables like cardboard, metals, glass, plastics, and all kinds of different categories that you can put in, and it'll track all of that for you and produce these wonderful graphs. They're really beautiful, easy to follow, and it's something that you can literally just download, stick it in your report, and you're done with it. So I'm sure you've seen other, kind of dashboards like this, and a lot of companies will kind of recreate the wheel for their own company, and they'll customize their own data dashboards. So if you've got the capability to do that, or you have an IT team that can put that together for you, and that's what works, great, go for it. But there are other companies out there that you can use in order to coalesce all that data and put it out to your shareholders, your investors, and your internal employees. And of course, putting it out to your customers is going to be a little bit of a different angle, since it's front facing, but you guys are marketing geniuses. You already know what to do with that, right? So number 2 of our topics is green storytelling. So defining that green storytelling involves using compelling narratives to communicate a company's sustainability journey and the positive impact of its green initiatives. So what are some strategies around that? Like I had mentioned earlier, testimonials are huge. They put, kind of a stamp from one of your buyers from one of your consumers onto your product, right? So customer-centric stories are highlighting customer successes and that resulted from using your sustainable products or services, getting them to tell other consumers, maybe via commercial or a social media video, just how impactful your products have been in their lives. It speaks volumes. And then the second kind of strategy for this is employee spotlights. I love this because it really kind of ropes in the internal culture of corporate sustainability. And then whenever you highlight your workers who are really doing a great job on their sustainability programming, they're following the rules very closely. Maybe they're even helping collaborate with management in order to develop new strategies for waste reduction, or other sustainability programs. Then they need to have that little pat on the back, of course. So showcase the contributions of employees who drive sustainability within your organization. I have a quick story. We did a full site visit up in St. Louis, and this was maybe 2016, several years back, and they had just gotten a directive from their CEO, and this is a 3,000 square foot site of an international pet food or pet care brand, and one of their facilities was in St. Louis, and they had 3,000 employees, and they did not have, they had a cafeteria, but they didn't really have any organics composting for their food waste. And they didn't have, several other things that they wanted to do. There was one person on their green team who was a real go-getter, and she went department to department, floor by floor, and got people, her peers, to sign on to a petition to get organics composting in the kitchen and the cafeteria. So both back of the house and front of the house, and to get these the training updated as well. So there's it's every single one of us can do something in order to advance the corporate culture, and looking for people who are those cheerleaders who will go the extra mile, who will lead your green teams. Definitely want to highlight their efforts, and maybe feature them in some kind of newsletter or something like that. But the next thing on this strategy is impact narrative. So really want to tell stories about the broader environmental and social impacts of your green initiatives. Give the why. Why are you doing this? Why is it so important to your company? And who does it impact? Are you are you working in communities that that are maybe fence line communities that experience a higher proportion of pollution in the area? Are you getting volunteers for a local Earth Day event? Tell the broader story of why your company is wanting to make a local impact in your community, and then let them know, of course, how you're doing that. So some real life tactics around how to implement this. Video documentation, or documentary. So you can produce short films that tell your story of your company's environmental efforts and their impacts. You can do case studies, which is helping you publish detailed case studies or instances of you tracking and showing the evolution of your project through that case study on your website and in your marketing materials that demonstrate the effectiveness of your green initiatives. And 3, social media campaigns. So I don't know if you guys have seen the social media campaign that is World Refill Day. It is a global challenge. Even right now, we're in Plastics Free July. If you haven't checked out Plastics Free July, it's a whole campaign globally all month long in July, where people are ditching single-use plastics and they're finding those alternatives so that they can incorporate that in their daily lives. But World Refill Day is where people who have taken the pledge to use refillable water bottles or some kind of drinking vessel. They're going to maybe bring their own coffee mug to the local coffee shop, or they're going to instead of getting a bottle of water out of the vending machine, they're going to bring their own bottle of water. This is what starts to build that momentum, that social media excitement, and create that buzz. So if you've got something that you want to run on social media that features kind of behind the scenes looks at your sustainability projects and all the people that are involved, it's a really great idea to show the heart-centered, service-based kind of projects that you're working on whenever it comes to sustainability. So number 3, our third topic here is eco-innovation. Defining that as eco-innovation refers to developing new products or services or processes that significantly reduce environmental impact and contribute to sustainability. So some strategies for businesses is sustainable product design, right? What are you doing internally to make sure that you have reduced the energy and the water and the waste that it takes in order to produce a product, and incorporate eco-friendly materials, processes, and mandates into your product development. This also comes with the innovation stage. So if you think about how consumers, just like you and me, right? We go to the store and there are things that are on the shelves that we get to choose from. As consumers, none of us have the ability to design or innovate the design of the product, or to choose the materials that the product's made out of, or to choose the types of metals, maybe if there's toxins like lead and mercury in there. We don't have the ability as consumers to do that. It's the design team. It's the innovation team. It's the materials selection team. So those teams further upstream really need to incorporate those eco-friendly design processes and material selection process as well into their development. So also building out green technologies. So this is the second part of this topic, where investing in technologies that reduce waste, energy consumption, and carbon emissions. Remember, this is something that can all be pulled together in that dashboard, that data dashboard that you can show people. And you can see the little ticks up and down, and you can see, the the peak times of energy use and all of that. So people can kind of follow the design process. They can follow the processes internally of the company. And a lot of times whenever we see as employees, when we see us meeting those goals or even beating those goals, we have this sense of pride. We have this sense of, yeah, we're kicking ass. And people love to brag about that. So give them something to brag about whenever they're not within their cubicle, when they're out living their daily lives and with their friends and family. They want to talk about this stuff that they're doing, and this would allow them something to get out there and just toot your horn as a company, because they're proud to work there. It really provides that kind of boost in morale, if you will. So the third kind of strategy around this is circular economy models. So if you're new to the circular economy, just remember right now our society is in a linear economy. It's a take it, make it, and dump it kind of process. And it's very A to B to Z. And if you think about A, that's the extraction process. So think about crude oil being extracted in order to make plastics. Think about wood that has to, whole forests that have to be cut down in order to make wood for housing and for furniture. So there's an extraction process of natural resources that then go to the refining process. So think about that crude oil that needs to be refined at a plastics plant before it can be blast molded into that plastic water bottle, right? And think about how the large tree trunks need to be planed down into those strips, those 4x4s or whatnot, in order to give you the building materials that you need, or the intricate designs on a bedroom headboard. So think about the extraction process is the take it, the production process is the make it piece, and then once you're done, then it would most likely go to landfill if it's broken, if it's obsolete. And many times, of course, we want to donate or resell, or that will take that kind of route. But sometimes products are just too damaged, and where do they go? They're typically going to go to landfills. So that linear economy allows for the burying and burning in landfills and incinerators, respectively, of our natural resources that have been extracted and refined and processed and transported and ending up on our store shelves to where we buy it. 6 months later, it breaks, we dump it. So we want to take the A end and the Z end and create a loop into a circular economy, so that those materials that are already extracted and refined and produced can also be then used as feedstock into the new production model for new products. So circular economy helps implement business models that prioritize resource efficiency, such as product as a service or even take-back programs. One key example of a take-back program is, I think about half the nation, about 25, maybe 26 states, it might be more now, have e-waste take-back, where legislation has been passed at the statewide level in order to hold the electronics producers, the manufacturers, accountable for their materials, for their toxic products. So remember, computers, laptops, TVs, all of that contains lead, mercury, arsenic. They don't belong in our landfills. They're typically pretty bulky, right? So this is a statewide mandate in many states that require that manufacturer to take it back and responsibly recycle it for free or a very nominal charge. So it really puts the onus back onto the company, rather than for the full life cycle of the product, rather than on the taxpayer, because usually landfills are kind of either publicly owned through the city or the county, or it's usually maybe like a public-private partnership where a private company services the city waste. So either way, taxpayers were usually footing the bill for corporations the dumping of their materials or their products once they were older, obsolete, cracked, broken, whatnot. So just something to keep in mind. If you have any products at your business that you do sell that can be taken back, it's a good strategy, because remember, this is a green marketing tool, having a take back program. And this can be for batteries, this can be for thermostats, this can be for light bulbs. There's all kinds of take back programs that you can utilize for your products, where you can put that into place for your consumers, and they have an option to get rid of it responsibly. And then you are closing the loop as a company, right? So think of things like that can be kind of put into place. So what are some real life tactics that we can use around this particular topic? So eco-friendly packaging, right? So use biodegradable, recyclable, reusable packaging materials for your products. There's a lot of companies out there that are really tackling the packaging issue. And it's important, though, that the packaging that you are using or for your products, so that you're putting out on the market store shelves for consumers like me to come and purchase, that it's compatible with what processors can take. If you have recyclable plastic that is like a number 5 or number 6, it's probably going to be rejected from most recycling facilities. So that means I might feel good about putting my number 5 or number 6 plastics from your product into my recycle bin, but then at the end of the day, they're gonna reject it. It's just not the right resin, right? So a lot of most will take number 1s and number 2s, and again, the number on in the little recycling arrow, the chasing arrows in a triangle with the number in the middle, that doesn't mean that is actually recyclable. It just indicates which resin was used to make that plastic. So again, number 1s and number 2s are usually really sturdy, durable kind of plastics, like your water bottles, soda bottles, and even laundry detergent, kind of the more opaque kind. But your 5s are very thin plastics. Your 7s are like stretchy film wraps as well. So the recyclers usually don't want that. So it's important to make sure that if you're using eco-friendly packaging, that you are using something that is actually compatible with recycling hauler processes. So another is energy efficient operations. So want to upgrade to like energy efficient equipment and optimize your operations for energy reduction and reduction of energy use. And this can be the same thing for water as well. So there's what company was that? There's a company that is using gray water. They have a whole gray water system where they're piping piping into the purple pipe system of their local municipality, and they are they're helping the city with the water reclamation ordinance. And there's there's a whole system underground that's working that we don't even know about when it comes to water reclamation as well. So energy and water are huge, but also want to look at how can you optimize your waste reduction as well. Are your dumpsters right size for your actual business needs, or are you getting taken for a ride because your hauler said, oh, well, you need this much capacity, but you really don't. You only need about 3/4 of that. So it's important to understand if your equipment is optimized for the services that you need and for your actual business needs. And same thing goes for your water and your waste. Do you have low flow toilets? Do you have those types of faucets that will shut off after a specific amount of time? And do you have air hand dryers versus paper towels? So whichever way that you choose, if you've got if you're using paper towels, do you have a composting bin specifically for those towels in your restrooms? So just a couple of things to think about around energy efficient operations. And then the last one on this topic is product life extension. So there's a huge victory, I think, in, oh gosh, what state was that? It might have been California, most likely, where the right to repair, law was passed, where companies are now required that if they sell their products in California, they have to require the consumer. They have to allow them to be able to repair first rather than purchase new. So many companies are benefiting off of a concept called planned obsolescence, especially whenever it comes to technology. So everybody wants the newest, brightest, shiniest piece of technology out there, and that's how these companies are getting rich. But many of these companies were also not allowing repair. They were forcing customers to buy new. So this right to repair is a product life extension service that is now mandated by law. And it allows for repair services, warranties, recycling programs, and even the little instructions and tool packets so that you can have the right tools in order to take apart your equipment and then fix whatever needs to be fixed and then put it back together again. So this extends the life of your products and it reduces your waste, of course. So that's just another thing to think about with that. And then our fourth point is, or topic is employee engagement in your sustainability program. So this is defined as employee engagement that involves fostering a culture where employees are motivated and they feel empowered to contribute to a company's environmental goals. So some strategies around that would be like sustainability training. Of course, I always say quarterly training is really recommended, but a lot of companies will do semi-annually or annually. But think about it. We're talking about trash. It ain't fun. It ain't sexy. Nobody likes to look at it. And then it goes away somewhere whenever we put it in a bin. We don't think about it, what happens downstream. So if we can help change people's hearts and minds around our discards have value, then this sustainability training is going to be a big help in doing that. And that provides regular training sessions to educate employees on sustainability practices and the company's green initiatives. So it sets the standard and the expectation of, hey, you need to follow these programs, because if you don't, collectively, we're going to be missing our goals as a company. And that's not something that you want to report back to your shareholders or your investors. And just keep in mind that ESG standards are now one of the top 5 deciding factors for investors if they're going to invest in your company or not. So you don't want investors walking away because you're consistently missing goals, because your employees aren't they don't have the buy-in. You don't have buy-in from employees, they're going to make or break your whole program. So it's important to get their buy-in and remind them how important they are. And another way to do that is to build out your green teams, right? So this is the next piece of that strategy, is building out green teams. So this helps you establish cross-departmental teams focused on identifying and implementing sustainability projects. So giving them autonomy to build out projects. And of course, they would run it through the management team. Management team would bring it up to the C-suite and eventually the CEO. But this is something where they can really build out their own ownership around these programs. They can invest into the accountability as well, and helping their peers in their department or on their team be better stewards of the materials, the energy, the water that is being pumped through the building, the office building there. So getting your green teams engaged and empowered through their autonomy to be able to help develop out these programs. They can do surveys of their peers. They can say, what do you like about this program? What do you want to see that's different? Do you want to see improvements? And what would that look like? Maybe you've got maybe you need to get some buy-in from employees to show the executives in your company that there is a need and a demand for, like we talked about earlier, organics, composting from the cafeteria. So if you don't have that in place yet, and you are kind of hearing rumblings about all this food waste and what are we going to do about it, and there's no program in place, this is a great opportunity to have your green team lead that initiative and to gather signatures, gather people's written documentation about what they want to see in fighting food waste at the corporate level, and then having them submit anonymous surveys and getting a ranking, even showing that there is that demand. So just another thing to implement to get more engagement, because it's not always going to come from the top down. Remember, the companies work both ways. So the executives and the CEO provide mandates, and that trickles down to the management. Management has to figure out how they're going to train their employees in order to implement it. And then the employees have to get the buy-in or allow the buy-in, and then also follow the rules. But it also goes the other way around. You have to think about how movements within a corporation many times starts at the grassroots level, where the employees are building the pressure, and it's getting up to the top, and the executives are finally hearing about it. And then, whenever they go to do something about it, it's already program is already mapped out, laid out. We've already got the ideas. We've already got the feedback from our peers. This is what we want to see. And the executives can say, hey, CEO, here's a great program that our green team came up with that we think would be great to implement kind of building wide. And that just shows that there's a support from the grassroots that build that pressure and that collaboration up from the worker ranks. And then another would be incentive programs. So you want to create incentive programs that reward employees for achieving sustainability targets and contributing to innovative ideas. So like I said, your green team, they deserve a lot of credit, and you can provide that credit through highlighting them in newsletters or intercommunications within the departments. You can even have rewards program, like a point system where people would get gift cards to a local coffee shop or to Target or something along those lines, where people can see, hey, my efforts are actually making a big difference, and I'm seeing that come back directly to me. So think about how you can work with the local businesses in the area to get those gift cards and to help boost that morale and to keep people operating at a very high level. If it slips, then you want to put those stricter standards into place, and to make sure that the training is on point as well. But giving people the rewards and the credit that they deserve, if they're leading the programs and if they're following the programs, even more importantly, letting them know that that's appreciated is really critical. So what does this look like in real life? So green challenges, you can organize competitions, challenges that encourage employees to develop and implement their own green solutions. You can even have like what's it called? One of those comment drop boxes about the recycling program and or the water program or energy, whatever the sustainability targets that you're going after. It could be even something as simple as a drop box where it's anonymous and nobody knows who put what on any piece of paper, and that just helps to get people to open up a little bit more, and they're a lot more candid when they can be anonymous. I'm telling you what. So green challenges are really fun as well. So people want to get engaged and involved in that. Another real life tactic would be having sustainability ambassadors. I have one client right now up in the Boston area, and they have zero waste ambassadors. And these are people who are, kind of like interns, and and they are able to kind of lift lids. They look inside the waste bins on all the floors of a specific building, and they'll be able to take pictures, and they can identify the cross-contamination issues in their building. So they can help drive the data where these ambassadors are going out and kind of doing the footwork. They're the eyes and ears, and they can talk to their peers as well and other workers to be able to gather those insights and to report back to the management about these sustainability programs. The last real life tactic and how an implementation strategy for this is recognition programs. So publicly recognize and reward employees who make significant contributions to your sustainability efforts. This could be a sustainability post on your social media that goes out to your tens of thousands of followers on your business page and gives them just a little background of what that person does and why they're being recognized. And it's such a huge kind of energy booster for the company, and people are patting them on the back, and they've got a real life story that you can put out to your customers. And I'm telling you what, the I guess younger millennials and Gen Z, and now upcoming is Gen Alpha, and believe me, I have two nephews who are Gen Alpha, and the oldest one is about to get their first job. So he's only 15, right? So he's getting into that position where they're starting to understand the value of the dollar and what the dollar does in the economy. So it's important to align your green values with the green values of millennials, and definitely Gen X. That's me, Gen X. Hey, we care a whole lot about this stuff. Because why? We have Gen X or Gen Z kids, Gen Alpha kids. So what are we going to leave behind for them as far as a healthy planet? So we definitely care. So I would say those four generations, you want to shift and align your marketing strategies to align with the green values that they hold for social justice, environmental justice, and to be able to operate in a way that is not going to jeopardize the local health of the local community. So the last thing here is our fifth topic, number 5, is the sustainable partnerships and collaborations. So how do we define that? That's really sustainable partnerships and collaborations involve working with other organizations, suppliers, vendors, communities to advance mutual sustainability goals. So a couple of strategies around this is supply chain collaboration. You want to partner with suppliers and vendors who share your commitment to sustainability and work together to reduce environmental impacts of your entire supply chain. So you can always ask your vendors or your suppliers about their strategies and their own operations. This is something that usually happens during the RFP process, where a company will put out a request for proposals or quotes to companies to, so that they can kind of vet the pricing strategies and structures that companies use and what type of products that they'll get, that they're seeking. So this is during kind of that vetting process where you can put that in your RFP of commitment to sustainability has to be part of your response in getting this contract with our company to provide these particular products. So making sure that they align with that and that their upstream and downstream is very clean, because you remember, you don't want to attach your company name and reputation to a company like a vendor or supplier that is not doing right by their own operations, by their own customers, and by our planet. So the next one would be community engagement. So how are you getting out into the community? How are you getting personal connections going with people in the community? So collaborating with local organizations on sustainability projects. So this could be a big volunteer project where you get loads of employees down to the local Earth Day event for cleanup, or maybe it's an environmental conference or something along the lines that's in your local area where you can do that networking and you can build that camaraderie as well for like-minded people who want to see sustainability strategies as one of the key priorities in their business. And then you use that as a green storytelling method to benefit the community and your business. It really kind of builds up that affinity a little bit more for the people that are in your local area that live around the site of the company. And then the last one here is industry alliances. This is a good one. So joining industry groups, so like trade groups, and other types of alliances. So think about the U.S. Plastics Pact. The U.S. Plastics Pact is getting major companies to sign on to plastics reduction goals. So maybe you can join something like that, some kind of trade industry commitment that you can, and a lot of times they'll have a logo that you can either put on your website or on your product packaging that shows your commitment. And it builds those alliances that are focused on sustainability to share best practices and to drive collective action. It also builds up more data. We always need more data, right? In order to build upon those best practices. So what do real life tactics look like in getting this done? So joint ventures, so developing joint ventures with like-minded companies to create sustainable products or services. Even local initiatives like participating in or sponsoring local environmental initiatives. Maybe you're a company that helps support legislation. So remember how I talked about the electronic recycling legislation that's been passed in more than half the country, more than half the states in the country. Well, we actually have one here in Texas. I'm in the Austin area, and I helped pass this legislation back in 2007 for televisions. And we worked with Dell specifically to help to get them to lobby with us to all 181 legislative districts. So all 181 lawmakers in the state of Texas, our capital in Austin, was lobbied effectively because all 181 of those lawmakers voted for producer take back of computer and peripheral material, equipment. So you don't typically get a unanimous vote on any piece of legislation, much less an environmental piece of legislation, in Texas. So it was a huge victory because we got such a powerhouse of a company to work with us. So if you can, as a company, find other like-minded companies that can even, build on your strategies and your goals to help even push like statewide policy, that is massive. That's a load of pickup that businesses with lobby power and economic power as well, that these lawmakers take a lot of pride and that carry a lot of weight for them in the decision-making process. That's a big load that you can lift off of local communities that are being inundated with these types of products and the toxins that come from them. So that's just one example. I know that you're probably racking your brain to figure out, well, how can we do this in our company? It's going to come to you, I promise. But if you need help, let me know, and I can brainstorm with you. But driving, using sustainability pledges. So you want to have people sign on to sustainability pledges, whether they're your consumers, whether they're your vendors, and you want to promote the sustainability pledge or commitments within industry groups to demonstrate your dedication to environmental stewardship. And by adopting these innovative green marketing strategies, businesses can enhance their brand reputation, engage their stakeholders, and make meaningful contributions to sustainability. Now, implementing these tactics can help your organization lead the way in environmental responsibility and you want to create lasting positive impacts. Now, as far as business client services go, our team at Zero Waste Strategies offers an 8-week online training program for managers that are seeking to implement zero waste best practices into their business. We also can come on site, so we provide on-site services anywhere in the country, anywhere outside of the country as well. So we have passports, we'll travel, it's fine. Well, we can provide waste audits where we're going to get up to our elbows for 4 to 6 hours in your waste stream and pull out all the materials, sort them properly, and make sure that we weigh them and track them and all that good stuff. And we'll show you what the baseline data measurement capture is from that waste audit. And then we'll develop out a report for you of some observations, recommendations to put that into place. And then we also provide fun, gamified employee training on proper reduction, reuse, and recycling techniques. And this could either be done on site or we could do it virtually with all of your own logo, branding, and all of that, where it would be customized. And that's something that you can use on future training for future new hires, because guess what? It's going to become your property. We don't hold on to that. That becomes yours. And then we can also assist in your green marketing messaging development. So, if you have taken anything from this particular webcast, I really hope that you can walk away with some actionable steps. But if you feel like you still might be struggling a little bit about how to put this in the proper words that will compel people to either listen or buy your product, we can help you with that. And then lastly, like I said earlier, we are True certified in order to certify zero waste facilities. So we can help you get to that 90% waste reduction or more in order to get certified for your facility. Whew, wow, what an incredible session we've had today. So I want to extend a heartfelt thank you and for joining us, and of course your participation in this journey of mastering green marketing strategies. So it's clear that we're all here. We're united to make a commitment and making positive impact on our planet by embracing these innovative green marketing strategies. We're not just enhancing your business, we're contributing to a sustainable future for generations to come. We always have to have that forward thinking kind of focus. And then remember the strategies that we discussed today: transparency and authenticity, green storytelling, eco-innovation, employee engagement, and sustainable partnerships. These are not just theoretical concepts, right? They are practical, actionable steps that you can take and implement immediately to drive change and showcase your dedication to sustainability. So as you go back to your organizations, I encourage you to share your stories, be transparent and authentic about your green efforts, create a corporate culture, foster a culture of sustainability within your workplace where green operations are the expectation for everyone from day one of onboarding. Innovate continuously. Look for new ways to reduce your environmental footprint and collaborate widely. So you want to build partnerships among your teams and coalitions between departments that amplify your impact. Your time today is very valuable investment in the future of your business and our planet. So I hope that you leave this webinar feeling empowered, inspired, and ready to take the next steps on your sustainability journey. So if you do have any other questions, you need further support, please feel free to reach out to me. You can go to our website, which is zerowaste.org, and that's the number 0, not the word. And then you can also call us at 512-693-7677. You can just reach out to me on LinkedIn. Just send me a DM. That's fine. But I wish you a fantastic day, and let's keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in your green marketing. Thanks, y'all. I sure do appreciate you attending, and we'll be back in 2 weeks for our next free live webinar. All right. Ciao.